Hey guys, so welcome back to my video. So today I'm gonna actually do something I haven't done in a really long time. So I did do a heartbreak, or my biggest heartbreak or something like that, and I have never done a story time, and I'm gonna tell you why. I think a story time is very personal, and it's out for the world to see. Even the people that were part of that story are gonna be able to see it. I'm gonna do it because it's something that happened so long ago that I would think that people are gonna be like, oh my god, or anything happened to me. It's not about anybody else. I'm not gonna say names out of respect. My heartbreak was my sophomore year of high school, and I think like the story between me and that one guy ended about my junior year. At the end of my junior year, he was a year older than me, so when I was a sophomore he was a junior. When I was a junior, obviously he was a senior, so it wasn't until I think he like left the school, like he graduated, that I was finally like, thank god, like I can finally kind of like really move on with my life, like just ignore my past. But before that, every time I saw him or I saw one of his friends, it's like everything came back. I mean, I never dated this person, like we were never official, like boyfriend, girlfriend, but we talked for a long time, and it kept coming back. All through my sophomore year, once he was like, I don't want to like have anything with you because I don't want to hurt you, because he didn't feel like he was gonna commit to me, and he had a lot of respect for me as a girl. He knows that like I was a good person and I had a good heart, and I wanted something official. I wanted a serious relationship, and that's not what he wanted. So after that, we kept having like little flings here and there, in the sense that like we would talk for like 2 days and then we wouldn't talk at all, and then he'd be like, I want to be with you but I'm not ready, and I was just like back and forth and not knowing what to do, until I finally said, this is it, we are done, we are through, I want nothing to do with you right now. Because it just feels like that wound that keeps opening up, and you keep hitting it and hitting it and hitting it, and the wound kept getting deeper and deeper and deeper until I just couldn't take it anymore. And it was just like a matter of just realizing, like, what am I doing? You know, I saw a relationship with this guy. I finally found this one guy who I really liked, physically, emotionally, and me and him were so alike, and I just felt so comfortable with him for the first time in so long. I actually liked the guy, and it just felt like, you know, like you're at the top of the world and you are in love, but you really aren't in love because you don't know what love is. Now, before anybody says anything, starts rumors, me and this guy, all we did was talk and we kissed. That is it. We never did anything else. And I want to clear that up. We never did anything else, because I know rumors will spread and things like that, and I'm just not up for it. I honestly am not. Junior year comes around, and I started talking to my boyfriend, Chris. Chris and me started talking, I believe 2 weeks or a week prior to junior year actually starting, and for the first time I felt like I had a connection with somebody else. I talked to a couple of guys during the summer, but I was just like, that is not the guy that I liked. And I was like, no, and I didn't feel anything for any of them, to be totally honest. You know, I tried forgetting him, I tried talking to other guys, I was just like, no. And Chris was actually the first guy that I felt like I have something with him, like I like him, he's cute, he is so sweet. But I wasn't giving my heart up because I had walls up. My walls were just my sheer protection. Like, that is my protection. And if you're a girl and you are like me, I protect my heart. I had been heartbroken so many times, and even during the summer there were a couple of guys who I was like, maybe, and then the wall would just go up, and I feel like that's what didn't let me go through. Like, I didn't want to leave my past behind. I wanted him to come back to me and talk to me and tell me, like, I really want to be with you, I'm fully ready, I'm fully committed. And I would have been like, I would have dropped everything and just gone to him. But this time Chris was just, he was different. He was really different. He was the first guy to text me good morning, good night, and it was just different. Like, there was something that I couldn't let go of him for. And I love him for everything that he is and everything that he stands for. And, well, He stuck with me through so much of my life, including this stage. When Chris and I first started talking, people would tell him who I dated and stuff like that. I was never one to go and tell him about my past until he actually asked about it. I didn't tell him for about a month until we started talking. He was very honest from the beginning, and I felt like I owed to him just to tell him out of respect what my past was. And he asked, and I did tell him, because rumors go around here and there, and you want him to understand where you're coming from and your side of the story. To get into the story, my junior year, me and the guy that I used to like, we were so like to the point that his birthday is a day right after mine. So my birthday is February 1st and his is the next day. So junior year just comes around. Me and Chris actually started dating in October, at the end of October. That's when we became like official. And at the beginning of the year, I noticed that he was with the guy that I liked before Chris was with another girl. And it's so weird because we used to like walk around lunch all the time and just be together and talk and this and that, and now he's with someone else and I'm with someone else. And I don't know if that's ever happened to you, where you have to face your ex with another person and you're with another person. It is so damn weird. It is so awkward and weird because you're like, just a couple of months ago it was you and I, and now it's like you and another person and me and another person. So my friends were very, very supportive of me. They were there through it all, and I can't thank them enough, because every time I fell, they were there to catch me and help me up. And I mean, that's not something that I see a lot, like friendship and things like that. You know that you have like a good handful or two handfuls of really good, great, real, true friends, and those are my best friends. Our birthdays actually came around, and I was in the dance team my junior year. And the day before my birthday was January 31st of 2011, I believe. I think it was 2011. I'm coming down because we were at a practice week, so I got out of practice and dance finally, about to go home, waiting for my mom, of course. And I go down and I sit and I wait, and I'm just looking through my phone because, you know, I haven't used my phone during dance. And I find a text from the guy that I liked's girlfriend at the time. So let's call him Mark. So Mark, and let's call her Maria, I guess. So I'm gonna call the guy that I like Mark. I'm gonna call Chris, and the girl, Mark's girlfriend, was Maria. So let's call them that, because if not, you're gonna get all mixed up. So I get down from dance and I have a text from Maria, and I don't know how she got my number. It's like a random number, so I get it, and it says, "Look, it's Maria. We seriously need to talk. I've been hearing a lot of that's been coming from your mouth. I want to know what's your problem." So my birthday was the next day, and I was like, I'm not even gonna text her back. I'm not gonna do it. Like, Nayara was coming, my best friend Nayara, you guys know her, was coming, and Chris was there, and I was like, you guys are not gonna believe it. Like, look who texted me. Like, I can't believe it. I don't even know how she got my number. And I honestly thought that Mark gave her my number, because Mark and I didn't really end on good terms the last time, and I was like, okay, like, he is out to like just mess with me and give me drama. And I was like, don't even text her, like, just don't text her back, or like, don't do anything, just leave it alone. So the next day is my birthday, and I'm like, I'm so happy, all my friends are here, we're celebrating. I turned 17, and I was like, yeah. This was when I was 17. This is how old I am. I'm 21 right now. This is really old. So I get to the cafeteria because I eat breakfast in the morning. I love eating breakfast there with my friends. We all sit at this table, and as I'm walking to breakfast, like towards the line, the cafeteria line, she sits at a table every day right by the line. And I have a crown on because my friends are, I put on a crown that said birthday girl. And then I hear all her friends like whispering it, it's her birthday, it's her birthday, it's her birthday, as I was walking past it. And I honestly ignored, and ever since I knew that they were dating, I would just like pretend like there's nobody there. Honestly, I always ignored her. I just walked, and I was just there, whatever. I got my tray, I sat down, nothing happened. So my birthday was great, actually. Then comes his birthday the next day, which landed, I believe, on a Thursday, because I know it was an early release day and all of that, because I remember, because we had like a field day. And I am getting to the cafeteria again in the morning, and my friends are there, and Leslie and Celine is like, let's go to breakfast. We got there like almost at the same time or something like that, or we would wait for each other to go. I don't remember. So me and Leslie and Celine were like, literally all my friends are looking over there to her table, and I look and I see her. I don't know if she saw me walking in and then stood up, or like, I don't know what it was, but Chris was like all tense, and like all my friends were tense, and I feel like maybe it's me being exaggerated, but like everybody in the cafeteria knew what was going on, and they were looking at us just waiting for like a fight or something like that. But she was standing up next to her table waiting for me to walk so that she could tell me something. I was literally, you know when you're so pissed or you're so mad that your hands are shaking? That's how pissed I was, because I was like, I didn't text you back. Why would you just keep going on with this thing? Like, if I didn't text you back, if I don't have like an issue with you, like, why would you just stand there? To be honest, like, I don't like that. I don't like texting. I feel like if somebody has a problem with me, they could come up to me and talk to me. We could talk like two classy women, and not just stand in the cafeteria and wait for me to get there. Like, what is that? So whatever, she was waiting there, and I walked towards, because I was gonna go get my lunch, or right, my breakfast. I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, I'm not gonna go because she's there. And like, no, why? You want to talk? Let's talk. So Celine and Leslie were walking. They were on this side of me, and I was walking, and I was like, oh my god, this girl. Like, in my head, I'm just like, what is she gonna tell me now? Like, I am so tired of this. Like, going back and forth with this guy was so emotionally draining. Then now having to deal with his girlfriend and whatever her insecurities were as a woman. Like, I was just like, grow up, leave me alone. I have a boyfriend, you have him. Like, stay with him, leave me alone, leave me out of this. I was just so done and through with this guy. Like, I was just like, I'm not even up for this. Honestly, it was so annoying. I am walking, and Celine and Leslie are there, and I feel like she kind of like steps towards where I'm walking through so that I can't walk, and I kind of keep stepping, and she goes, I need to talk to you. I mean, I can tell in her voice she was a little nervous, because me and her had never even spoken before. We were never friends, we were never acquaintances. I had one class with her my freshman year, and that was it, and I never even talked to her during my freshman year. We were just a different like different cliques. Like, she had her clique, I had mine, and that's it. That was it. So I feel like Celine is very, right now we're all really tense. Like, my whole friend area, like where we sit, they were just staring, and I felt like everybody was just staring at this showdown. Maybe that was just me, but that's the way I felt, because people knew that we had drama. People knew who I had passed with. Obviously, my high school was like this tiny, so everybody knew everybody's past, and kind of like, I think they were just waiting for it. So her friends were there. Of course, she's gonna tell me something. Celine was there, and Leslie is very mellow and calm, so she's kind of like pulling Celine, because Celine wanted to stand next to me, like just waiting for something to happen. And Leslie was like, Celine, let's go, they need to talk, or something like that. And they went away, and I remember seeing them in the line getting their breakfast, and like Celine was just looking back on her shoulder just to see if anything was gonna happen. And I don't know if they would have jumped in, but I'm sure as hell they would have done something. She's like, I need to talk to you. And I said, I have nothing to talk to you about. And I kind of stepped to go, and she kind of like steps like, well, she said, well, I've been hearing a lot of, well, I need to talk to you because I've been hearing a lot. And I'm like, well, your name's never touched my mouth. Who said it? And she looked at me, she said, I can't say. I go, well, your name has never touched my mouth. Plus, I don't know you, and you don't know me. And if you want to know why I have you blocked on Facebook, it's because I don't want to see anything of you. And I remember in that moment, I don't remember when it was, but I remember I have this friend named Leyanis. Leyanis, if you watch my videos, I love you so much. Leyanis, I met my sophomore year. I had a class with her. She is one of the biggest inspirations for me. She is such an amazing friend, and like, I don't know. She is just such an amazing friend. I used to call her my big sister. She used to call me her little sister. We were really, really close in this class. And she helped me out a lot my sophomore year. She was like, you're being so stupid, but I'm going to be here. And every time like I had a new story, she would listen to me and she would give me her advice and stuff like that. And I remember that one time she wrote me a letter, and I still have it, by the way. And she said, I will fight whoever I need to for you, whatever. And I saw her that day. She actually saw me, and she knew who the girl was. She knew who Maria was, and she knew who Mark was, and she knew all the drama pretty much. I guess she wasn't expecting this because this was our junior year. I kept talking to her and stuff. So I was saying my friend Leyanis knew the whole drama between Maria, me, and Mark, and I guess Maria wasn't really part of my drama my sophomore year because she wasn't with him, but starting my junior year, I guess like everybody like noticed that she was with him, and they knew we had drama. And I mean, she knew me like the back of her hand. And Leyanis, I guess she was like ready, like something is gonna go down. Like I'm saying, I think everybody was like, something is gonna go down. So I feel Leyanis kind of like brush through the back of me, and she kind of goes in front of me, and she's looking back at me, like giving me the eyes, like I will be here, girl. And she was at the breakfast. She was getting her breakfast, and I could already feel like I was so pissed. I was so pissed. I was fuming inside, and I could see Leyanis was like ready. If like we needed to do something, she was ready, because she kept looking at me like really, like she had like that bad bitch face. Like I'm done. Like I'm ready to go down. And I can tell because I've seen her before when she's like about to fight, and I can tell. Now, side note, I am not one to fight. I've never physically fought anyone, and I'm just not one to fight for a man, because I just think that's very low and unclassy. As a woman, I think like I owe myself enough respect that if a man wants to be with me, he will be with me. I don't need to fight for him. That is just my personal opinion. I don't fight for a guy. Ever. I will never fight for a guy. The only way I will physically fight, this is not to condone violence in any way, but I will only fight if somebody touches me. Like if you touch me, I don't know how to fight, but I guess we'll find out how good I am. But this is not to condone violence in any way. I just don't think a woman should have to fight for a man, because at the end of the day, if a man wants to be with you, he'll be with you, whether you have a purple eye or whether you're the one that won or lost the fight. Because a man wants what he wants, and like, why fight for a man? Like, why lower your standards to something like that? That's just me. I saw Leyanis, and I'm talking to this girl, and I'm looking at Leyanis and making eye contact, like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, like I can't believe this girl's even talking to me. Plus, I don't know you, you don't know me, and I have you blocked and all of that. She said, well, you told Mark that I don't respect myself. And I had told Mark that. I did tell Mark that. I go, you're totally right. I did tell him that. She goes, well, why if you just told me that you don't know me? I told her because it's what I heard and what I see. And then I said, I'm gonna be straight out with you. I don't like you. Like, I was so like, I was just like, I don't like you. And she was very like, I think she nodded, like she understood. And I don't know, in that moment, I wasn't really nervous. I don't think that I was like, oh my gosh, we're gonna fight, we're gonna fight. I was more like, I'm just so done with this. Like, you're so emotionally drained from everything that you just want to be done with it. Like, I just wanted to get my breakfast and move on. Like, this is so last year. Like, why do you even have a problem coming up to me? Like, you're with him now, I'm with my boyfriend. Like, what? So I remember her nodding, and then she's saying something. I don't really remember that part. And the only reason I remember is because I wrote it in my like book and stuff. I said, I know who you, and said every time you guys broke up, he would come and tell me things. And it might sound like, oh my god, Jenny, like you crossed the line, like that was too much. But honestly, I was telling her that, and maybe I took it too far, but I didn't think at that moment that I was taking it too far. But I told her that because I wanted her to know that if I really wanted to have talked really nasty things about her, I had things to talk about. Like, I had a lot of dirt of hers, and I didn't ask him ever like to tell me dirt of her. He just would always come to me and kind of like vent when they broke up, and they broke up a lot, let me tell you that much. And every time they broke up, he kind of would come and be like, I really want to be with you, I'm so sorry for everything I've done to you, or like, karma is being so mean to me, I should have never left you. Like, he really would have told me, he told me so many things all the time, and I was already talking to Chris, and that got me so confused all the time. Like, I was like, oh my god, am I doing the right choice? Am I like really like going for Chris? And I can tell you right now, 4 years ago, I'm so happy I decided to stay with Chris, because if not, I don't know where I would be right now, to be honest. Not because Chris is like my life or anything, but I don't know what would have happened, and I'm glad I don't know what would have happened. He's just not for me. He can be for somebody else, but me and him were just not meant to be. So I'm okay with it now. I'm fine. Like, I don't really mind. I wish him nothing but the best, and he knows that. He sees my videos sometimes, and he knows that I wish him nothing but the best. And I'm sure he wishes the same for me, or at least I hope. But at that moment, I was just so done with everything. I was just like, I told her so that she knew that if I really wanted to have talked, I would have said a lot of things, and I never did, because I thought that that was very personal, and as a girl myself, I wouldn't want people to be spreading rumors about me, because that's what he said, but you never know what really happened, or, you know, what her motives were. I didn't want to get into that, because that's her life, and whatever she does, I was like on her. So as I told her that, I remember seeing like her eyes get really like big, getting like, oh my god, I cannot believe he did that. And I remember seeing her pull up like her phone from the back, and like, I guess she was texting him and she was talking to me at the same time. And I told her after that, I don't remember what really, I think she was nodding, and I kept telling her, like, I don't want to argue or fight. I'm happy with my boyfriend, and I told Mark that I wish him nothing but the best, and you guys are together, so I don't care. She said, she replied to me, she said, I don't want to fight. I just wanted to clear things up, and that's why I texted you, but you didn't reply. And I just remember I told her, next time you need to talk to me, don't text me. Like, I think I had like the bitchiest like tone on. I was like, next time, don't even talk, like, don't text me, talk to me face to face. She nodded, and then she just walked away, and I was like, finally, we're done, like, that's it, yes. Oh no, we were not done. Mark had a lot to say to me. She walks away, and then like, I think like later on, I guess, as she texted him and he told her, yeah, I told her, I don't even know what, she texts me back saying, I'm so sorry, I didn't know, or something like that. Now, I had a lot of beef with this, and I'm gonna tell you why I was so pissed. I had seen prior to this him write on her Facebook wall, like, me and my friends, you guys know we call each other the CGs. He wrote, don't worry about the MUGs, I guess calling us ugly. You're a champ. So I knew there was something wrong, that there was beef. I didn't have her, and I didn't have him, but my friends texted me saying, like, did you see this? And they would like screenshot. I'd be like, oh, I was just like, oh my god. Hold yourself together. Hold your composure. Compose yourself, Jennifer. Just hold it all together, because I was about to go off on someone, really. So I was like, when she walked away, I was kind of like, thank god, like, I just don't want to deal with this anymore. I'm so tired of this. And then Mark texts me. He's like, okay, thank you for the amazing birthday present. I've lost the best thing that's ever happened to me, but don't worry, I'll get my revenge. At this time, I was in field day, so I didn't see the text till later, and I literally, like, I just didn't reply. I was like, fine, like, do whatever you want. I was so over it. I was so over this. Like, I feel like they had so much, like, they had such a dysfunctional relationship that they wanted to come and ruin mine, or come and ruin what I had with my boyfriend. I don't know what was going on in their head. I was just like, honestly, like, really? Didn't reply. And then he said, Mark sends me a picture of the letter, and he goes, hope Chris likes to read essays, with a little like winky face, like a little mean winky face. I wrote Mark a letter that November or something. I wrote him a letter that it was just like a closure letter, just so he knew how I felt every time he like came over and dumped me, or like came over and just didn't want to be with me and wanted to be with me, and like all the mixture of emotions. I just wanted to have closure with that. I wanted him to know exactly how I felt. And I was already dating Chris when I actually gave it to him. I had written it before me and Chris had started dating. And it was a very long letter. It was about 3 or 4 pages, no, 2 or 3 pages, black, front and back, like just letting him know how I felt. And I made sure, because I knew he was very schemy, I made sure to tell him, like, to write everything in past tense because I knew the way he was sometimes, and I knew that if he wanted to get back at me, he would show it to Chris or show it to somebody else, and I was just like, I'm not even up for that. So I did write Mark a letter. And I don't think it was wrong for me to write him a letter to show closure. I actually did tell Chris about the letter, and he was like okay about it. He knew I had a past, and he knew I came with a past, and there was nothing, you know, that had nothing to do with him. It's sad that it like continued in our relationship, but he stood by me through it all, and I was just so happy and like I was just so grateful that he did. And he knows about the letter, he knows about all that happened because he was in this all. I was in such a vulnerable stage at that moment when he's telling me like I'm gonna give him the letter, that like Chris was just very accepting. He's like, don't worry about it, like it's fine, like I don't have to read the letter. If he gives me the letter, I'm just gonna like throw it, like I'm not even gonna read it. I made sure like I let him know the letter was like all the letter was written in past tense. Like I liked you, you used me. I called him and I'm like, stop with your bull. And he didn't even let me finish, and he said, just remember one thing, heal. And I don't know what that means. I think that means something in like his slang language, and he clicked on me and I was like, your mom. He texts me again and he says, I'll be at school on Monday, hide your boy. So I was really scared, so I talked to Antonio, who is a friend of Chris's that was a football, and I was like, listen, this might go down on Monday. I just need you to protect Chris as much as you can. I'm probably gonna be at practice. I didn't know what he would have done, like, or what he could have done, but I do remember that on Monday I told all my CGs, and we all stood like waiting for him to come at the gym stairs, and he never came. And on Friday, so Thursday was like an early release, and I think Friday we didn't have school, so I had to go to like Miami-Dade because I had to enroll me classes. And when I came back, that I'm getting like in the car with my mom, he texts me back, you funny bro. Like I was just like, what? I texted him saying, I think I texted him saying, what are you talking about, or something. I'm not even sure. But later on I found out that he wrote on Facebook, some bitch I talked to got her parents to call me. That's what he thought it was my parents who called him because of like everything I guess that had been going on. My parents didn't call him. I don't know who called him, but it wasn't my parents. While he was threatening me, I got home and I told my sister about it. And at that day was his 18th birthday. So if I wanted to, I could have gone to the police and filed a police report for harassment and cyberbullying and all of that good stuff, because he was 18 and I was a minor, right? And I had proof because I munched all the conversations that he did to me. Like he told me all these things and I didn't reply to it, and I could have. But here's the thing, since I'm a minor, my mom would have had to go with me, and I honestly, if I told my mom or my dad about it, because they knew about him and like me never having anything, like he never met my parents or anything like that. My parents don't have his number or anything like that. So if I wanted to, I could have filed a police report. He could have maybe gotten arrested. I could have pressed charges. I don't know how the system works, but I could have done something to stop him from ever talking to me again. But I didn't because one, I knew he wasn't gonna do anything, because I'm sorry to say he's a very all talk person. He's very like, and when I say all talk, it just means that like it's all about what he says, but he never really does what he says. Second of all, my mom and my dad would have been so overprotective if I ever would have told him anything that happened, and I didn't want that. I didn't want to ruin the guy's life, to be honest. Later on, I actually texted him. I was so pissed. I told him, leave me alone. I want nothing to do with you, and it's the past. And I told him, you should actually, for the first time in your life, grow the up and let it go. It wasn't my intention to break you guys up, and honestly it really wasn't. I told her so that she knew I knew things about her, and that if I really wanted to talk shit like she said I would have. So for one time in your life, be mature and let it go. And his response was, okay. I can look back now and say that we actually ended up like talking about it, and we found closure in it, and me and Mark are just, but we are good acquaintances. I haven't seen him in a really long time. I want to say like 4 to 5 years. I haven't seen him ever since he graduated, probably. It takes two mature people to realize that like the relationship didn't work between me and him. It doesn't mean that he can't go on living his life and I can't go on living mine. I just thank him for just letting me walk out of this gracefully. Thank him for not using me, or for having respect for me enough to like be like, listen, I don't think I'm gonna be loyal to you. Even though all this drama, I wish nothing but the best for him. I'm sure he wishes the same for me. We each learn our lesson and we grow up from it, and that is what I hope you guys take from this. I have nothing else to say. I hope you guys enjoyed this story. I will definitely see you in my next video. Bye.
These are honestly those moments in life where you realize who has been there with you through it all. These people were there, and I'm lucky that till this day we have lived through each other's journeys in life. Thank you for being all that you are, and know that you mean the world to me. I love you all.